Scottish venison, a great natural resource and the primary product of Scotland's deer, whether red, roe, sika or fallow. From the urban fringes to our woodlands and high tops, and on our farms, deer can be seen. The red deer is Britain's largest land mammal and, in a recent public poll, was voted as Scotland's most iconic species. Scotland's wild deer require to be managed. This is essential for a number of reasons, so that deer do not damage the habitat over which they range and to suit the different objectives and priorities of land managers. The collaborative management of wild deer is often undertaken by deer management groups. These comprise groups of land managers which share access to a population of deer which is managed as a common resource. In Scotland, around 107,000 deer are culled each year, all destined for the food chain. This cull produces around 3,500 tonnes of venison for human consumption, both for the UK and overseas markets. The UK imports a further 800 to 1,000 tonnes of farmed venison from New Zealand. Venison from roe deer is destined mostly for the export market, while Scotland's deer farms provide a consistent source of supply all the year round. Depending on the sex and species of deer, culling takes place at different times of the year. Generally, however, most culling takes place during the autumn and winter months, often in cold, difficult conditions. Wild red deer are gralloch'd on the hill, providing additional nourishment for golden eagles and other carrion feeders. The carcass is extracted by hand back to the nearest accessible point for ponies, which are still used on a number of estates, or by ATV or quad bike. In certain places, the only means of taking the carcass back is by boat. Farmed red deer in Scotland are humanely killed on the farm, and the venison is then processed on site. This venison is sold locally through farmers' markets, farm shops, and through the internet, providing complete traceability, low food miles, and contributing to rural employment. For those who cull wild deer, their job is tough, physical, and skillful. Stalkers live close to their work, and their jobs are vital in supporting fragile rural communities in Scotland's remote areas. A recent study found that deer management provides 966 full-time jobs, with a further 1,554 full-time related jobs. It also generates revenue through stalking, venison sales, tourism, hotels and so on, of some £70.4 million further business. Training is an important part of the deer management process, and Scotland's countryside colleges play a great part in training the young stalkers of tomorrow. Best practice guidance has been developed by the industry and is available to all who manage deer. Special events are run each year to encourage deer managers to operate to the highest possible standards. An important skill of the deer manager is to comply with food hygiene legislation and treat the deer carcass with the utmost care and attention at every stage in its preparation, from the point that the animal is shot until the point that the meat reaches the table. Increasingly, Scotland's venison is now certified to Scottish quality wild venison standards. This certification process covers all the steps in preparing a carcass, including lardering, inspection, traceability and tagging, transport and further processing. This is vital to ensure that this quality, healthy product reaches the consumer in the best possible condition. Currently, over half of Scottish venison production is marketed through this standard. Today's youngsters should know and understand where venison comes from, and have the opportunity to try it. Taking children into the countryside and explaining the deer management story to them is important. It is a part of their heritage, and more producers should undertake initiatives to deliver this message. It is, after all, a simple process, from Scotland's countryside and deer farms to outlets ranging from Michelin-starred restaurants and the best hotels to the family butcher and the supermarket shelf. In terms of its health benefits, it outshines virtually every other meat. Lower in fat than skin breast of chicken, higher in iron than any other red meat, contains omega-3, low in cholesterol and free of any antibiotics or growth promoters. Chefs across Scotland and the whole of the country know its versatility well. Delicious.